If you're new to Norwex, if you've never heard of it before, I'm going to fill you in. Our products are made with 4 main goals: to save people time, money, their health, and the environment. Since the 1950s, 80,000 new chemicals have been created, and they're being used in products that we use every day, multiple times a day. Toothpaste and mouth rinse, shampoo and conditioner, makeup, laundry detergent, cleaning products. And those chemicals haven't been tested for safety on our health. As a matter of fact, Europe has banned 1,300 chemicals because they realize that they are causing health problems. In the United States, we've banned 11 of those 80,000 chemicals. And when you look at things like the rise in cancer and asthma and all sorts of health problems, it's clear that these chemicals are causing problems to our health. I urge you guys to do some research of your own so you know I'm not just making this up. You'll be shocked at what you find. I actually try to keep the scary chemical stuff toned down. So Norwex makes health-safe and environmentally friendly products to replace all the chemical-laden products that are polluting your homes. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but the air inside your house can actually be 70 times more polluted than the air outside. And what's even better about Norwex's products is they work more effectively, which ends up saving you time. And they save you money because their products replace disposable products that you need to keep buying with products that can be used over and over. One other fact I want you guys to remember, because I'll bring this up a lot, it only takes 26 seconds of contact with a chemical for it to make its way into your bloodstream. So we know chemicals are scary, they're not good for us, but bacteria can be too. You know, you can get really sick from some bacteria. So we see these cleaning products that say they're going to kill 99.9% of bacteria, and we use them. I don't know how many of you have really looked at the labels on your cleaning products. I used to just spray things down and wipe it, or use a disinfectant wipe to clean something and think I'd killed all the bacteria. But these actually have some pretty extensive directions to actually kill the bacteria. So let's take a look at some labels of some common household cleaning items. I have here some disinfectant wipes and an all-purpose spray. I think these are pretty common cleaning items. So this one says, to disinfect, use enough wipes for a treated surface to remain visibly wet for 4 minutes. Let surface dry. That's a long time. I can't imagine how many wipes it would take just to get one tabletop clean. On top of that, it says, for surfaces that may come into contact with food, a potable water rinse is required. So after spending 4 minutes keeping the surface wet, after it dries, you need to rewash it with water to remove some of the chemicals that it left behind. And it says areas that may come into contact with food, but you have to figure anything like a bathroom sink that might come into contact with a toothbrush, or a toy that you want to disinfect that a baby might put in your mouth. You need to wash the chemicals off after you've used one of these on them. And these have all kinds of warnings. Use only in well-ventilated areas. Before use, open windows and turn on fan. I live in Vermont where it's cold half of the year, and I can't be opening the windows every time I need to clean, so that's just not ideal. Avoid contact with skin. Should probably wear rubber gloves. Wear protective eyewear. I would like to know if any of you wear protective eyewear when you clean. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody doing that. Not recommended for use by persons with heart conditions or chronic respiratory problems such as asthma, emphysema, or obstructive lung disease. Well, asthma is pretty common, so it says right on the bottle that a lot of people shouldn't even be using this. So imagine someone in your house gets the stomach bug in January and you want to disinfect everything so no one else gets sick. If you follow the directions, you're probably going to go through a giant tub like this, or maybe a couple of the smaller ones, or maybe a whole spray bottle of all-purpose cleaner to keep every surface wet for 4 to 10 minutes. And then you'll need to retrace your steps, to wash everything with water that might come into contact with food. It would take you all day. Plus you'd have your windows open and your fan on, so your heating bill would skyrocket. That would be outrageous. The point I'm trying to make with all of this, there's a lot of cleaning products out there that are bad for us, and we're using them because we think we're killing 99.9% of bacteria. But the truth is, unless you're following these really extensive directions, which I never did, you're not killing the bacteria. You're just adding some toxic chemicals into your home along with the bacteria. So check the directions on your cleaning products. I love hearing what people find if you want to share them in the comments, but I think it's important to know how you're supposed to be using the products that you have. With Norwex microfiber, you can effectively clean with just water by removing bacteria from a surface instead of trying to kill it with harsh chemicals. The way microfiber is different than a regular fiber, like a cotton cloth or a paper towel, is those are just gonna like push or smear particles around on a surface. Microfiber grabs particles and traps them in the fibers. Now I know microfiber is nothing new. You can find microfiber cloths anywhere. To be considered a microfiber, the fibers can be no larger than 1/6 the size of a human hair, but Norwex does not make just a regular microfiber. Their fibers are 1/200th the size of a human hair. And in this cloth, this one's called an EnviroCloth, is one continuous strand. So if you were to unravel it, this would be 10 million feet long. So that makes this a really dense cloth that's able to trap and absorb way more than any other microfiber cloth. This can actually hold up to 7 times its weight in water. And this cloth has the ability to remove 99% of bacteria from a surface using only water. On top of that, to make these even more special, they have something called backlock. Backlock is a microsilver, which is an antibacterial agent that's embedded into the fibers. Silver's been used throughout history. Greeks and Romans stored water in wine in silver pitchers because they realized that it lasted longer. During the plague in Europe, wealthy families ate off of silver plates and utensils because they realized less people were getting sick when they did that. They were taking advantage of the antibacterial properties of silver, probably without even realizing it. And that's actually also where the phrase "born in a silver spoon in their mouth" came from. So after you've used this cloth to remove bacteria from a surface, the bacteria is trapped in these dense fibers, and it's stuck in an environment that's just not ideal for it to thrive. So these cloths can be used over and over without spreading bacteria from one area to another, and they're going to stay clean and fresh for much longer than a regular cloth. A lot of Norwex's products contain backlock, so they don't need to be laundered after every use, and they're not going to get that stinky, mildewy, wet cloth smell. So I'm going to show you a demo comparing how effective Norwex's microfiber is compared to some other common cleaning products. For this experiment, I've marked the counters into section, and I rubbed raw chicken and then mixed in some glow germ on each spot. I'm going to clean each area with a different cleaning product, and then I'll use a black light to see if there's any glow germ left. The glow germ will light up and simulate where there's bacteria. So just so you know I didn't cheat, I have some chicken here and I'm going to rub it on all the areas again. It is chicken, it doesn't really look like it anymore because it's covered in glow germ. I have to kind of make it into a paste, it comes in a powder. Okay, so first up I have a wet sponge. Sponges are usually the most bacteria covered item in your house. When you use them, they get warm and wet and get bits of food stuck in them, which makes them the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Okay, next I have a 50-50 mixture of vinegar and water. This is safe as far as chemicals are concerned, but I'm using it with paper towels, which are much more sterile than sponges, but they're very wasteful. Every day, 51,000 trees are cut down and 20,000 gallons of water are polluted to make paper towels that are used once and then thrown away. 3,000 tons of garbage is created per day from paper towels. And it's not absorbing this. Okay, next I have my disinfectant wipes. Remember, it only takes 26 seconds for the chemicals in here to make their way into my bloodstream. And once I'm done washing the counter, I need to rewash it with water to remove the chemicals that this leaves behind. Okay, and this is my all-purpose cleaner. You know, the one I'm supposed to have all my protective gear and my windows open, which I'm not doing because it's snowing out right now. And again, I'm using this with wasteful paper towels. And all of these products so far are things that cost money to routinely replace. It's kind of hard to clean just in this small area. Okay, so last I have an EnviroCloth. With just water, this has the ability to remove 99% of bacteria from a surface. All of the tiny fibers are going to grab and trap every little particle. So I can use this again, and I'm not going to transfer bacteria from one area to another. And then the antibacterial silver in the cloth, the backlock, is going to stop the bacteria from growing, keeping the cloth clean and fresh so I can use it over and over before needing to launder it. And I don't need to routinely replace this. All of Norwex's microfiber has a 2-year warranty, but if you take proper care of them, they'll last much longer than that. Okay, so the counter looks clean, but let's get the black light and take a look to see if it actually is clean. So over here, there was no glow germ, so this is what it should look like. So first, here's where I use the sponge. As you can see, all this does was smear everything around on the surface. And next, this one is the 50-50 vinegar and water. Everything's just smeared around. This one is my disinfectant wipes. And then this is the all-purpose cleaner. It literally just looks like everything just has a layer of bacteria on it now. And this is the EnviroCloth. I don't think I see any glow germ left. So just again, so there is proof that the EnviroCloth and just water is more effective at cleaning than any of these products. It takes much less effort. I don't need to wear protective gear or rewash surfaces to remove chemicals that were left behind. I'm not exposing myself or my family to toxic chemicals. I'm going to save money because I don't need to routinely replace sprays and wipes and paper towels. And I'm helping the environment by not using products that end up in the landfills or that have chemicals that end up in our waterways.